All right, HRM students. Dr. Abernathy here, Judge Jackie. I finally have a legitimate reason to use my gavel. I'm so psyched about this. Okay, so I am going to be refereeing, moderating after each part. Any challenges that have been brought by either team against the other team, or even if a challenge is not brought, correcting factual errors that go unchallenged to make sure that we're making decisions based on fact. And my goal here is to not slow things down, is to foster good conversation. It's no good if it's just a back and forth. Well, you said this. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. It's very clear who said what because you can look at the video and see. So I'm here to rule on those things. So there are several challenges by Team Gilmore against Team McGavin. The first is that mention of Miss Gilmore violates the rules. Your objection is sustained. Congratulations, you just won bonus points. It clearly does violate the rules. There's no mention of anyone else in making your case for your candidate, period. And that rule was violated. So that's sustained. Claim 2, offering Gilmore a step up, a new position, is not substantiated by facts. That is true. It is not mentioned whatsoever in the scenario that there is such a job to offer. You did a very good job of pointing out that the next step up really is the job that they're vying for, which is the only job there is to offer here. So, very good. Sustained on that one as well. Now, claim 3 was discrimination. And it was mention of the retirement of the candidate was discrimination. Now, mention the retirement was from the candidate. Okay, this was a fact. It's in the scenario. The candidate mentioned that they're looking to retire, and that is precisely what Team McGavin said. If this had been an assumption based on Mr. McGavin's age, yes, it would have been discrimination. If they would have stated as a fact that he's only going to be here a certain number of years, that would be unsubstantiated as well, and you would have a claim against that being factually true or not. Team McGavin said no such thing. So there was nothing prejudicial or discriminatory in there. Therefore, that claim is overruled. Likewise, let's clarify. There were many claims of rule violations based on the fact that Team McGavin used the phrase most likely in determining why McGavin would be the best candidate. Something to keep in mind is a rule violation only applies to factual errors or opinions based on premises not substantiated in the scenario. So we can disagree that, and we're going to disagree, that the facts suggest a certain future for any given candidate. Of course you're going to disagree. Most likely is a subjective opinion. This whole thing is going to be an opinion. I mean, best is a normative word. It's an opinion, who you think is best. And so most likely you're predicting the future. There's no way to fact check the future because it hasn't happened yet. And so you're going to be making your own case on what you think will happen. It is going to be predictions. And you're going to disagree. Obviously you will disagree. But someone else having a different prediction based on the facts than you is not a factual error. Now, the opinion that Ms. Gilmore can potentially be retained with another offer, the premise was not true. Therefore, that opinion is not based on anything that you can actually base that opinion on. And so that's why the claim was sustained. But any assumptions based on actual facts in the scenario. You can disagree with those assumptions, but that doesn't necessarily mean the person was factually wrong. Let me give you an example. Team Gilmore said that Team McGavin was wrong when they suggested that errors in the past made by Ms. Gilmore means that Mr. McGavin is more likely to not make those errors, something like that. There are errors that are mentioned, and that's not a factual error. So that's not a violation that you can pull out. So any challenge by Team Gilmore of Team McGavin's most likely predictions as being factual errors, this is overruled. And you can disagree and point out contrary evidence. This is not a rule violation. A rule violation is a factual claim. The other team said something they did not. That the candidate did this or did that. The candidate passed up the opportunity to buy the building and do the thrift store. That's factual. If the statement had been, the candidate, had bought that, that would be a factual error, but it's not. So the goal here is to keep each other honest. You're going to disagree, but disagreement is not a true or false thing. It's a subjective thing. It's a normative thing, not a positive thing. And so what's important to me is that you don't want to set a trap for yourself by claiming there's an error in the other team that's not there. Saying that they said this and this is not true when they didn't actually say that. They can come back and get you on that one. In fact, there are factual errors in both videos for each side that each side can point out in the next video. So you kind of walked into some things there. I would urge both teams going forward not to commit a violation by being too quick to accuse the others of one. It's likely going to backfire when defended, right? And also, the goal is to keep each other honest. But do not make your goal, gotcha. That's not good. Of course, you don't want to let something slide if you see something is legitimately incorrect. You don't want to. But the goal is to make the best case. Damaging credibility only goes so far. It makes it look like if you're nitpicking, if you're always pointing out, well, them, it looks like you don't have a case of your own. So, moving forward, focus on your case. If you see something that's just flat out wrong, call it out, yeah. But don't be looking for things to be wrong. Fact check, yeah, but don't be looking for your goal to just be to tear them down. Look for your goal to be to build your candidate up. Okay? Alrighty. So I had the gavel and I didn't actually do this when I ruled on stuff. So sustained, overruled. All right. Good luck moving forward, y'all.